Hey, good morning, World of Tanks. This is Guido. Welcome to my channel. You are looking for a code, so the code will be splashed up there above me somewhere. It's also down in the description. Following this little spiel, I've got a video talking about heavy tank tactics. So I've been playing my tier 9s quite a bit, especially the Russian tanks, trying to do HT-15 for the what is it called? Chimera. The Chimera. Foreshadowing. I'm going to call it Fjords, all right? I know it's called Fjords, but I say Fjords, all right? It's a funny joke, perhaps only to me. Most of the time when I get new people watching it and they hear me call it Fjords, I get about 5 comments about how you're pronouncing it wrong. All right. Speaking of pronouncing, I actually had to go over to Goshism's stream, which he is streaming right now. Actually, it's Tuesday afternoon, and you're seeing this Wednesday morning because it's magic of the internet. I had to go over there and ask him how to pronounce his name because I've always called it Gosh. And I looked at it and I went, well, he sent you here. I should probably know exactly how his name is pronounced. It is Goshism, all right? I asked him. I did ask him. So thanks to Goshism for sending you guys over here. And you are going next to Nando Capo. Nando_Capo. I will put the link down below. He is a YouTuber and Spanish speaking. So that's cool. If you can understand Spanish, then you're good to go. But we all understand tanks, I guess. So you could probably, I should try that. I should review the Spanish-speaking videos and see what I can glean from them from my very rudimentary Spanish. That would be kind of funny. That just came to me. I may have to actually try that. The video that follows is about heavy tanks. I'm going to give you some don'ts and do's. So you're going to see Guido completely tomato out on 2 of the replays. And then you're going to see pretty decent games on 2 of the replays. And the last replay, the 4th one, is going to be me finally completing HT-15 for the Chimera. Chimera. All right, I think that's how you say it. I'm probably getting that one wrong too. So whatever, fix me down below. Code's up there, code's down there. Following is a heavy tank video. I hope Wednesday is a good Wednesday for you guys. Good old Wednesday the 13th. At least it's not Friday. I guess that's a good thing. I do appreciate you guys coming by. I appreciate any kind of support that you can send me. If you're looking for ways to do that, down in the description you can find multiple ways. And that is all of my yabbiting. We'll head on over to the video. Go ahead and check it out if you're looking at heavy tanks, especially if you're trying to figure out how to do that HT-15 where you need to block, do damage. I'm going to say need to take damage, but it adds all 3 together, and you need 10,000 total of all those to pass by that particular mission. That's all I've got, fellas. Thanks for coming by, and ladies, and we will see ya. Hey, yo, good morning. Welcome back. On this episode, we have heavy tanks. Heavy tanks on Tactics Talk. We're going to talk about some do's and don'ts with heavy tanks. Played a lot of games in the ST-1 and the 705, both Tier 9 Russian heavy tanks. I'm trying to do Union 15, Armor of God, which is blocking and doing and taking 10,000 damage. So the damage you do, the damage you block, the damage you take needs to equal 10,000, and you finish the mission. That's the 15th mission for the Union for the Chimera. That's what I was going after. And it was interesting because I don't play a whole lot of heavy tanks anymore. I used to play them quite a bit, but it's more mediums and lights for me these days. So I learned a few things again as I went through here, and it sort of solidified ideas I already had. And we're going to talk about do's and don'ts. So we're going to start with a don't. I'm going to start with a don't. So I've got the ST-1. I'm looking at the matchup going, this is fairly permissive. The 2 artillery are problematic. The Conqueror, he's going to pen. The Type 4 could be spamming HE. So there are some things I need to watch out for. But if I can get myself into some of these Tier 8s, I can start bouncing. I'm just going to dab number 2 and go full heat spam into people. So I should be able to deal with the Maushan especially, and potentially the Type 4 with the heat. No problem. Heavy tank, got a T-30 here with a big gun, got an IS-3. Backing me up. Here comes my Type 4. He's back there. He'll show up. And we've got a lot of targets here. So that's good. I unfortunately clipped that guy. I did not mean to do that. So I apologize to the T-30 guy. So here we go. We're good. We'll just watch this. Oh, it's an oh-ho. They're fairly soft. Let's just drop some damage into him. Fantastic. 527. My big, strong turrets right here. This should be no problem. Here comes the Type 4. And they have a lot of guys, though. They have a lot of guys. And here comes their Type 4, which I'm able to sneak a heat round into his flat plate. And our Type 4 says, look out, fellas, I'm going in. I'm going in. Now, this should have got my spidey senses tingling right here. I hit the mouse in, and then I think, all right, there goes the T-30, there goes the Type 4. I'm in. I need a mission. I got 10,000 damage to do and take. Let's look. The lows, the lurv is going. We're all in, folks. Let's take these guys on. No problem. Watch this armor do its job. Whoops, the lowest side scraping there. I come around here. We'll just go ahead. Nope, don't have quite a shot here, but all of a sudden my Type 4 is out of hit points. All of a sudden my Type 4 is out of hit points. So a heavy tank is kind of for this, pushing in and forcing this situation. But you have to kind of pay attention to what you're pushing into, don't you? Look at all the tanks they have. Now, some of these guys are around the corner, but they just have a big stack right here. And we're in the open funnel here. It means they can take cover, sneak out, shoot, and go back to cover. I don't have anywhere to hide, really. So, but I mindlessly drive forward, and that's the don't that we're getting at here. Yes, you're in a heavy tank. Yes, it can take and tank a lot of damage. There's a bad shot. Notice I got hit by the JT. The JT is back there, right? The JT is back there and we can't see him. So there's another big gun in this fray, and I stay around. So I think, oh, that doesn't work at all. And now I'm trying to get away from this, and I've only done 1,400. I tried to follow up the Type 4 who made a foolish push. I was beating my chest thinking I'm the great big bad heavy. No problem, I can handle this, and now I'm getting absolutely obliterated because this is what happens when you overextend. It's what happens when you overextend in anything. But you can be easily lured into that with a heavy tank, especially things like the ST1 or the 705, because I'm looking at this funnel and you go, oh yeah, I got great armor. I'm going to go in there with my buddies and we're going to wreck their face. Well, this team just absolutely, completely pub stomps us right into the ground. I'm dead. These two are dead pretty soon. We're losing elsewhere anyway because we lost wholesale over on this other side, and it's just an unmitigated disaster. And on my side, to a large extent, it is because I pushed in there. If I'd stayed back, would I save this game? Probably not, because the weight of guns is so bad right now. Would I have got more damage and been able to last longer? Absolutely. Okay, so the don't here is, yes, you're in a heavy tank. Yes, this situation looked okay, but despite all the indications that the flank situation was bad, I pushed in anyway. All right, so do not do that with your heavy tank. All right, let's go to a do. Now for the do. We're back in the ST1. We're here on Fjords, in Fjords, and I'm going to go to the heavy brawling area, one of the common heavy brawling areas on this map, which is what I did in the last game, but played it very poorly, completely overextended. This time I'm going to be much more careful. However, I'm still going to take my tank to the heavy brawling area because that's where it needs to be. All right. Does that mean you always have to go this place in heavy? No. Look at the middle. The middle is actually a place you can fight. There's no artillery, so it is a little bit more useful, although you do have to watch about TDs blasting you from there. This one is a little bit easier to isolate the threat because it's a very narrow funnel here, so that is where I'm going to go. You'll notice the 277 has a really good game. He's already gone around the corner being a faster tank. The IS-7 YOLO's in there as well, and I'm thinking, all right, what I think they thought they might be able to do was push in behind these guys because they got stopped, but look at they're all now moving down this way. Excuse me. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. At first I thought I might rage in there with these guys, but the IS-7's being a bit foolish. So I'll come in here and see if I can sneak a shot into somebody. I do, but I miss the side of the Oho, and the IS-7 is not long for this world. He saw an opportunity, but he did what I did last game. He just simply YOLO'd in a bad situation. And now I've missed a couple times. See the 277, be careful. The IS-7 lasted, but we didn't do a whole lot of damage. So I see this mouse coming in. I'm going to try to sneak one into his turret. And kind of lucky, actually, based on the angle he gave me. So we'll back out of this. The 267 is up, or sorry, the 263 is up here. That's important because that's a great gun and a lot of front armor. And now we're just going to start working on these guys. I just decided to go for the track in case we can maybe punish him a little bit more. The 277 tries to side scrape there, but he's going to think better of staying there. And now this is just a battle of attrition. Who can fight their heavy better than who? Boom, into that dude. Nice shot into the Oho. He's down to a one shot. The 2.7's backed up a little bit. The E100 is side scraping, and I'm trying to stay out of his way as much as possible. All I want is this flat plate of this guy's turret. Sneak one right in. I'll get out of the E100's way. I'm on a reload. I don't need to sit there and bump into him. I think he took a shot in there. As I get close to reload, though, I'm going to move up in here. Now I'm looking for somebody to show me something. Maybe I can sneak one into this lower plate. There we go. Again, get out of the E100's way. I am angled enough to let him kind of do that rock back and forth thing right there. And it is a case of, in this heavy brawling area with a lot of tanks, just trying to stay out of each other's way. You get a crit in there. The E100 goes down. But look at the game. Things have not gone well. So far, things have not gone well. I'm all right. I've done 2,000. This guy does give me a bit of trouble. I'm trying to sneak some heat. Nice job on him, by the way, rocking back and forth. What he's trying to do there is avoid me aiming right into that little cheek area, and I end up hitting his mantlet in that case. Now I'm just looking for a piece of someone's tank that I can shoot. Maybe I can get his top. Oh, boy. Thank you, RNG. Right into that weak spot hatch right there. Notice the 263 has reacted, and there goes, I think, also an E100. That leaves an E100 and a 277 and a 257 here. I really, oops, I want to try to get rid of that ISM. All right, we've taken a few near deads out, so things are looking a little better. I think, man, I'd really love to kill this mouse if we can get rid of him. Sneak it into his lower plate. There we go. Down goes the mouse. There's only 2 guys here. Looks like the E100 wants to go in and try to finish these guys off, so I'm going to move in here with him. Oh, now there's 3, so there's a 1390 fighting in here as well. And all of a sudden, we have evened this thing up. The 263 and the E100, now the 277 have gone back there. We're fighting these guys in this clogged up area, and now a lot of them have showed up, so I'm a little bit less interested in pushing right in like the E100 did, very foolishly. Sort of ignore the 1390, and then I think I can get a shot on him, so I do that. He takes a chunk out of me. And then for some reason, the 257 goes YOLOing in there as well. I really don't want to follow him. I thought about it, but then I'm thinking, you know what? There's just too many guns here, dude. Too many guns. There's no way we're going to win this fight if we both YOLO in. So I've got to be a little bit more careful, and I pretty much let him go. But I'm noticing that the 277, the E100, and the 263 are winning over on that flank. So now it's my job to survive this fight over here. Now, had the enemy just come at me, I get a bounce, I get another bounce, I bounce him, he bounces me, and notice the 277 has flexed back. Meta flex! And that's actually a good player. He has a much larger game than me. This ends up being ace for me. He has an even better game. But let's see if we can pull this thing out. We're not winning. We're 4 to, what, 7? 4 to 5? 4 to 6? 4 to 6 tanks. Let's sneak in here and see if I can get one right up underneath. There we go. We get rid of the IS-7. I have spammed all my heat, so I'm down to regular AP. I'm going to have to be a bit more careful. Look at the 263 and E100 now have them. And all of a sudden, now we've got the advantage. Because I went to the heavy brawling area, I fought it well, and I avoided the temptation to YOLO in, which is essentially what lost me the last game. Let's sneak one into the 420, or the 120, sorry. Little bounce off of him. Go ahead and reload this bad boy. No, okay, we'll just accept what's given to us. The IS-4 came forward, so we'll go in his lower plate. 2,900. 277's telling me to fall back, but I'm having none of it. We'll just take these guys down. 277 finishes that dude. And I'm probably being, yeah, there we go. The 277 has it right. I'm being way too cautious right here. We needed to push in and help the 263. Probably the biggest mistake I made was a little bit too cautious there, but I was so busy trying to survive it. In the heat of the battle, I hadn't exactly realized that that's where we were. So ISM is sitting there, and I'm at 4,118, 5 kills. 277 takes a chunk out of him, and then I'm just going to snipe the kill from him there, and we finish that dude off for 4,391. 1,910 blocked, 500 assist, and 6 kills for an ace and top gun in the ST1. This was not good enough for my mission number 15. That's coming up in just a moment after I show you another don't in the 705. But had I played the game before this one in a more similar manner to this, I might have given my team a chance, or at least come closer to winning than I did. We were way behind in this game, and with some careful heavy tank play, and obviously a good setup, because this spot can really isolate how they can come at you, right? But still, that was a situation I found myself in. That's how I played it, and I ended up with a much better result by using the heavy tank in a heavy tank brawling area and doing it correctly. The side scraping, the shot selection, working with my allies as much as possible, with the possible exception of the end, getting a little bit in the way of the 277 and not being quite as aggressive as I would like. But overall, fought that one pretty good. All right, let's go to a don't. All right, let's switch over to the 705. So I got a couple 705 games for you. I get spotted right here. I'm on Prokhovka. I'm looking at the setup. I'm thinking they don't really have that much with a lot of pen. Even the 8.8 I'm not afraid of. I feel like, I can own these guys. I'm actually just going to drive down the one line, force them to shoot at me. I'm going to just run into them, gobble them up, because I'm the big, bad, heavy tank. Look at me. I cannot be stopped. Well, there's a couple problems with that. Number one, the JT 8.8 fires really quickly. Number two, there's 2 artillery. Number three, there's only 2 guys behind me, one Udez and one Hawk 12. And the Hawk 12 is not really in a position to support me. So as far as analyzing what I could do, even though the situation looked like I might be able to do this, the actual situation on the ground is nowhere near being able to do this. Let's just pause this for a second. Look what we got going on. A lot of guys sitting back here. There's a proto way back here. None of these can help me. The Chimera, sort of, but not really. He's busy with hold down guys there. The only support I have is the Udez, and he's actually in a terrible position to do so. Terrible position, because he's trying to shoot through all these undulations. He needs to be up on the side of this hill a little bit. And I just continue to be a Muppet. I'm just going to drive through here, and the thought in my brain was, you know what? I need bounces anyway, so let's just collect bounces, and surely they can't stop me. Well, the 8.8 figured it out. He's shooting gold. Gets into the lower plate. I'm trying to wiggle jiggle. Gets another bounce. All right, things going on. Ah, there he is. So we'll just shoot this guy, no problem. There we go, looking good. Uh-oh. Oh, geez, now there's a 432 behind me. There's an M41. There's a Pershing. There's a 8.8 continuing to shoot me. I take forever to reload. I take another artillery hit, and now I'm down to not many hit points. I'm stunned. I can't fix it. I've used all my kits. I'm getting absolutely obliterated. I can't get my turret around, and I deserve every single bit of this hammering and eventual loss. I think I actually get this guy. No, I don't. Somebody else gets him. And I bounced a couple times. I've lived much longer than I probably should have. Can I get a shot on him? I think I do. Nope, I don't. Terrible. Done. Right? So that's a really good don't right there. Seems fairly obvious, but newer players will often see things like that and feel like, ooh, I'm in this super armored heavy tank and I can really force the situation. Well, you can. You can, and you should, and that's going to be the next example. However, you have to analyze the rest of what's going on around you and not foolishly try to force things that you're obviously, even back here I should have known I was going to get obliterated. Once that many tanks start swarming you, I mean, that's just handing them that tier 9 tank. Here, enemy, go ahead. Actually, I think we actually won this game, despite me being a complete Muppet. I did facilitate in taking down a couple of their tanks, but that's not the way you do it. Don't trade your top tier heavy tank just to kill a few of their smaller tanks, especially that early in the game. All right, let's move on to the last example of a do forcing the situation in the proper context. All right, here's the last example and a do. I'm obviously here on Ensk, spawned into the north, coming down to the south. I am middle tier, but if you look at the situation, they've got a Sheridan top tier and a WZ 132-1. So really the things I'm worried the most about are going to be this WZ, maybe the standard B and some of their other heavies. But there's a lot of mediums here. And other than the WZ, I'm the big boy, right? I'm the big beef in this game. So I'm going to kind of force up my way up in here. Initially be a bit careful. I don't want to walk into things like this 704 over here? What is this guy? My brain's not working. Well, the Carnarvon. I don't want to walk into the WZ. There we go. Try to get a shot on that guy. And they've got a 705 as well. Forgot about that. But they've got a 705 and a WZ. We've got a 705 and a WZ. I don't want to walk into them like I did that last game. I'm going to initially be a bit careful. I do have to be careful. That WZ-111 has that little angle right there. That's what's hard about this map. There are several weird little angles where they can get into you. And I'm having a bit of a hard time getting shots into the guy's bottom plate. He's well angled, I'm angled, so we're really just bouncing each other. Then that stupid sign right there, I'm able to bounce another one. And that's important because this is the mission that actually does the mission 15 for me. I get over 10,000 damage blocked and done to me. Remember, for those missions, the damage done to you counts. So sometimes it can be important to actually take a few hits just to put yourself over the limit. I wouldn't say go take the hits on purpose, but towards the end of the game, it may be a consideration depending on what you've got. You'd rather do it via bouncing it and doing the damage yourself and not rely on that. So this WZ, no, that's never going to work right there. That was a wasted shot. We are starting to get a win, though, as far as we're starting to get a weight of guns on them, I guess, from taking out some of their tanks. Now, I noticed that when I counted noses, there's 3 over here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 1, maybe 2 if one of these guys has come across over here, tanks. And I can actually sort of cover up if I keep to the left right here. And now I'm going to come around here, and this is that forcing the situation at the right time. The WZ is exposed. I'm going to get a free shot into him. There's nobody down that road, so I can actually use this cover. We'll go ahead and just try to be a little bit tricky. He's turning around, trying to get his turret on me. Takes him a long time to do that. He takes a snap, which was a bad idea. Eats another shot from me. And then I see the 705 coming in. I'm able to angle it enough that he shoots into my track. Pershing comes out. I need to get rid of the WZ. Once I get rid of the WZ, forcing this situation, now I've leveraged this middle road. Because I've got guys behind me to support me, I can go ahead and start pushing in here. Now, it's a bit tricky, though, trying to get in this spot. I see the Pershing there. I can get guys coming at me from multiple directions. I get a shot into the Pershing. I don't want to just drive in there because I'm going to get tracked from multiple directions. Looks like the 705 wants to come out and try to keep myself angled. There we go. Actually get a bounce off that, so that works. I'm going to follow him in just to get this shot. There we go. Pershing finally does some damage to me. So there's some of that damage to me that's going to count. Doesn't really hurt. It's another 200 added to the pile of 10,000 that I need. Get bounced there. I bounce that guy with a little bit of baiting, and I'm able to take him down. So again, forcing the situation in the right context. I'm up front, keeping these guys busy, keeping them lit. This is a bit tricky right here. This guy takes a shot, and I get a bounce. I thought about going after him, but I don't want to do that. Why? Because I've got the Indian Panzer in there, and this Pershing potentially, I think he can actually shoot through there. Then I've got this dude shooting from that direction. So if I get out there where my turret isn't clear to shoot and I get tracked and perma-tracked by these 2 mediums, it's big trouble. And we're not winning by that much. And I see the T-44 coming at me, so I've got to deal with him. I saw him coming. I go back forward, and I sort of walk into all these guys. A little bit of trouble there. We get a shot on the T-44 as he goes by, and then he foolishly comes around the corner. I don't know what he was thinking, but he gets another shot into me, but I take him down at the same time. I'll cover up right here, looking to try to side scrape the Indian Panzer, and things are looking a lot better. I just have to be careful about not getting gang tackled and perma-tracked here. So I need to figure out how to get at some of these guys. I can see that the WZ, or sorry, the Carnarvon's going around that way, but he's kind of a one-shot, so it's not exactly a given that he's going to make that happen. What I don't really understand is what the WZ is doing, although he's down to a one-shot. So I've got some hit points, but they've got a bit of an advantage, at least in this local area right now. I see the Carnarvon, he's going off that way. I'm thinking maybe I can sneak here and get that shot before he gets away. There we go. And that really opens things up. Pershing puts some gold into me. Excuse me. And then I see this dude, and the Pershing wants to side scrape, and I say thank you very little. There you go. And now we've got the Indian Panzer. He's the last guy. And I'll just come around this corner, and we'll see if we can take him out. He's got a lot of hit points, so I'm just going to go at him. He moves his turret, thankfully, and his gun. I was worried about shooting his gun and getting a bounce. Just keep trying to ram this guy. Someone puts a hit on him. He shoots the poor WZ. Bit of a snap, and we'll just kill him. I don't get a shot, but it ends up being 4,000 damage, 5,000 blocked, and 243, sorry, not 243, a lot more taken. So what, 1,500 taken, you add that together, and it's over 10,000. And there you've got the mission done. So a good example of going to the heavy brawling area, forcing the situation carefully, as opposed to forcing it foolishly. Heavy tank stuff, that's how you do it right there. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope this helped you out with your heavy tanks. I appreciate the support. If you want to support the channel, looking for ways to do so, check out the description down below. There's several ways to do that, and we will see you.